Hello, this is my third attempt to do my midweek musings. I'm hoping that you can actually hear me because the sound hasn't been great. So, hello, I'm Helen, Authentic Discovery. This is my Speaker Truth midweek musings because it's Wednesday, so that's what I do. Come on and just kind of chew the cud about the week that I've had, things that have been with me, and my responses to them, I suppose. Delighted to have, please, oh yeah, like, subscribe, share, all of that stuff. Started a new adventure called The Loving Response. So I'm hoping that people really engage with that and basically tell me, ask me something, ask me questions, ask me for, throughout my life, people have kind of used me as a bit of a soundboard and said that I've made a lot of sense. So I'm going to see where that goes. So whether it's about the relationships, situations, career, just life, all the things that can come up into life. And it is my endeavour to give the loving response. And even in that is, I've found that on one hand it's incredibly easy, it's also incredibly hard as well. So it makes it a bit of a strange thing because as there is the loving response, I believe. I'm yet to be shown that whether that is um up for compromise. I'm not really sure if that's the right term. And then there's, like, because of the fact that we're human, so how we do that. But I think initially it's about being aware that there is a loving response, and then there is the things that sort of stop us. So that's been with me, and I'm really excited to see where that goes. The Speaker Truth conversations, oh gosh, I am just blessed. So if anyone out there wants to have a conversation with me and who has a completely different take on life to me, I'd be really interested, and I'm sure that everybody would be interested to hear those variances because we're all so unique and yet the same. What else has been going on? So yes, sacrifice has been something that's been kind of filtering through the whole brainwave. Sacrifice in relation to love, I suppose. Does love? I don't think love asks for a sacrifice, and then that idea that sacrifice is something willing, people do willingly. I think in relationships you compromise if you are asked to sacrifice. Someone's asking you to sacrifice who you are for the relationship. Ooh, no idea what's going on there. Apologies. If someone's asking you to sacrifice, then I think you should get out of that. Countries, we have people that go to war, sacrifice their life for king and country, queen and country, their communities. People sacrifice, Christ sacrificed his life for humanity. So life tends to ask of sacrifice, but I'm not really sure. Just don't get that love asks you to sacrifice. And at the moment, we're all kind of being used as sacrificial, just being sacrificed with these satellites that are going around to create this net around the globe. That one just completely floors me. So yeah, sacrifice, perception, the loving response, those are the things that are in and around my head at the moment. And one of the things I really can't get my head around is that we, as a species, humanity, whether you believe in there is a virus or there isn't a virus, whether you believe it was man-made or natural, we have a virus that can live in every part of our planet. Now, even air doesn't do that, it gets thinner as it goes up. But anyway, this virus, apparently this natural virus, can exist in every single aspect of our planet because that's why we're all on lockdown. So while we are fighting, or I don't know, I don't like using the term fighting, but anyway, while we're fighting this global pandemic of this virus, into that mix, somebody wants to roll out 5G, which has been shown to be detrimental to human health. Though there are studies out there, I'm not just saying this as some whack job, there are studies out there that have shown that the electromagnetic, the frequency that this 5G is on is not beneficial at the moment to humanity. So they're going to roll this out without any further studies or any further anything. Right. So there's a virus going around, which is not good for us. And then there's this new frequency coming around, which is not good for us. And then somebody else wants to ensure that we will have vaccines against this virus, which are right now being tested. I know that they're testing them in Africa, which I'm not even, I can't even talk about how that offends me without getting incredibly angry, incredibly hurt, and just feeling violated. Anyway, so right now they're doing nasty things. I've been doing it for a long time, but they're doing it now, testing out vaccines. And apparently whatever that was that just came was about human trials. So that's another. So you've got the vaccine. So you've got these three things which at present are not beneficial to humanity. And rather than just dealing with the pandemic, they're going to allow this other stuff to go in. Now, I'm not a scientist, but I'm a cook. And I know if I add different ingredients to something, I will create something new from those ingredients. What is going to be created new from the ingredients of a virus? A new frequency, which will affect the virus as well. If there's a virus, if you want, and then a vaccine, and it's not just the virus that they're going to be that's in a vaccine. There's mercury, there's fetal matter, there's all sorts of other stuff in vaccines. Let's not even get started on whether they're going to start chipping the vaccines. There's other stuff in vaccines that are not beneficial. Mercury, not beneficial to us. It's not. So that's just, as you can see, my brow is really furrowed by that the idea of that, and that's happening. I just don't get it. It just makes no sense to me. And a lot of this is by the satellite thing is an individual, his company. The vaccine thing is an individual, his company. This is not elected speakers of mankind. Definitely does not speak for me. Definitely does not speak for me. So I'm perplexed. And there's a lot of memes and things out there, and like none of this can have this. All this happens with our consent. We are consenting to all of this. I hope you're aware of that. I am consenting to this because I have done nothing about it. I don't necessarily. I am living my life. I've got to be honest, and I shall deal with any fallout from that as it arrives. I am observing what I need to observe within my workplace, and I'm honouring people's distance, but I'm not interested in going ahead with something that I do not agree with, that I don't agree with at all. So there's that going on. So this week there's this idea of sacrifice and what is sacrifice and perception, and how our perception plays into our well-being and how it affects us. Tomorrow's mindfulness and meditation session, tomorrow at 7 o'clock, is about perception and wellness, and there will be a well-being, a feeling well meditation within that session at 7 o'clock. So again, you can find me on Facebook, Authentic Discovery. You can find me on Instagram, Authentic Discovery with Helen. You can find me here. You can find me on LinkedIn as Helen Gibson. You can find me on Twitter, Authentic Disc. My website, authenticdiscovery.co.uk. So this thing, what's happening now has affected me in terms of my ability to work. I work with groups in the community, so that's not really happening right now. And so I've kind of started on doing other things, the loving response, the speak your truth conversations. So yeah, I am finding it difficult to make it. There's no logic to any of especially this mix. If there is there's a virus, we'll say there's a virus out there that's killing humanity. Can we first deal with that before we start allowing companies and conglomerates and multinationals and all of that, whatever they're termed as, stop them adding to this mix? Why somebody wants a license, 30,000 extra satellites they want to put up there, they've applied for. Another 30,000, not 30,000, another. They've already had licenses from an organisation in America that has given this. But America has given this go ahead for this to happen, but it's happening globally. America is not the world. There's a few more little bits and pieces of it around in case anybody hadn't looked recently. So yeah, so those are my midweek musings this week. I think that we are definitely in a place of normalising this not normal situation. As humans, we do normalise things eventually. I really hope we don't return to the same normal that was. It didn't work. It didn't work for everyone. And those few at the top, we can just stand. If we stand up, they can't trample on us anymore. And some of us are really trampled. Some of us are really down. And I know that love is the answer. And it just, you know what? I don't care whether people want to go, oh, airy fairy, arty farty. She's one of those woo woos. I am fully, totally a woo woo. I want a peaceful planet. And the reason I want a peaceful planet is because if I have a peaceful planet, I can walk outside that door. I'm not even, I mean, the benefits for my descendants is phenomenal. But as a woman, if the planet is at peace, I can walk outside that door butt naked and no one's telling me I'm looking for it. I can walk outside at any time, day or night, and no one's going to attack me. My house is not going to get robbed if I leave the door open. This is what a peaceful planet looks like. We don't need peacekeepers because everybody is working from a place of love. And if you work from a place of love, I defy you to hurt someone. If you're truly working from a place of love, it's not possible. Doesn't demand that you kill, doesn't demand that you hurt, doesn't demand that you maim. And there's all of this romantic love hurts and you hurt the ones you love. Yes, you vent at the ones you love. You are able to, you feel safe enough to express yourself to the ones that you love, and you may hurt them in the process, but it's not love that's hurting them. It's that you love them. They are part of your loving circle where you feel safe to express and to be the authentic you that you are. So yes, that's the end of my musings for today. I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope that they've made you think. I hope that you want to engage in dialogue. That would be lovely. So yeah, until next time, tomorrow night, please join me for mindfulness and meditation session. Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock, the Speak Your Truth conversations go out. Monday evenings at 6 o'clock, I'm doing the loving response. Tuesdays is my day for distance Reiki. So if anybody wants anybody, and I'm saying distance Reiki because people understand that, but it's distance love healing. Tuesday is my day for love healing, for sending out healing vibrations to people. So please get in touch if there's anybody that you would like to receive or you would like yourself. So yeah, so that's my Monday, my Tuesday, my Wednesdays, my musings, my Thursdays, my mindfulness, my Friday. Oh my gosh, what happens on a Friday and Saturday? I'm just around. So yeah, it's called life. Enjoy, love.